I'm going to be ranking every single dark matter card in NBA 2K23 My Team on a tier list here, ranking from S that goes all the way down to F tier, and we have every single dark matter currently in the game. I think it's a total of 64, and for cards, for example, like a dark matter LeBron, right, I'm only going to have his playoff version. I'm not also going to have his all-star version because they are basically the same card. The only one that I have two of, I believe, is dark matter MJ, because the hero one compared to the elemental one, there is a huge difference. And yeah, like I said, I think there's around 63 to 65 total dark matters in the game. Also, I'm recording this before the Steph Curry Evo, I'm assuming, is going to be coming out, and there might be some more dark matter Evos, so I'm not counting those cards if they do get Evos. I was recording this the day before, Steph Curry maybe got his Evo. So looking at the first dark matter here on the tier list is going to be LaMelo Ball. Kind of a weird one to start off with. I think he's kind of like C or B tier. There's just so many other great point guard dark matters in the game. Do you go B tier for LaMelo Ball? I kind of want to go C tier, but I'll go B tier for now, just because LaMelo still does have a really good jump shot, 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan at the point guard position, and like I mentioned, has a great release and some okay dribble sigs, but the card doesn't move at a very high level, and he's not going to be an excellent defender compared to some other cards in the game at the point guard spot. So I think for me personally, LaMelo Ball going to hover somewhere between B and the C tier category, because looking at Anthony Davis, I think he's probably that one tier below. I kind of want to go Anthony Davis and maybe even D tier. I'll go C for now. I just might have to move some of these cards down a little bit because there's so many good dark matters on this tier list. Like, we're literally going over every single dark matter currently in the game, but Anthony Davis just really needs an updated jump shot. It's going to be a super slow release at the power forward position, only being on quick timing. Yes, AD is still a great defender, great rebounder, and he does have great size at the power forward position with his wingspan and his player model, but I do think he's got to be at least in that C tier category, maybe even a little bit lower. Here with Tim Thomas, I think for sure is going to be a top 10 dark matter in the game. That's probably what my S tier will be, is like the top 10 to 12, 10 to 12, maybe 15 dark matters currently in the game will be in the S tier category, and I think the hero Tim Thomas for sure is going to be in the S tier spot. I think he's such a good shooting guard, 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. I think he probably is the new best shooting guard in the game. Yes, it's really close between him and T-Mac, between him and Terry Dischinger. All those guys are amazing at the dark matter tier. I just think Tim Thomas is slightly better because of his size, and he does have like the perfect dribble sigs in the game with the Steve Francis size up and the Trayscape. And if you can green his jump shot consistently, because I know it's a quick release, it might be a little bit hard to time for some people, but if you can knock down his jump shot consistently, I think Tim Thomas is the best shooting guard currently in my team. Talking about the next dark matter is going to be Anthony Edwards. I think you got to go D tier. He's just like an okay dark matter card. Like, I know he's got some better sigs updated, which is cool. I just don't think he's really going to be that great of a card. Gilbert Arenas, I think you got to go. Sorry, I thought that was Isaiah Thomas. I almost put him in F tier. I think Isaiah Thomas, I think Gilbert Arenas is at least C tier, right? He's a great offensive point guard. It's just him being only 6'4". I think it's just going to be a little bit too undersized with how many tall players are at the point guard position now. He's still a beast on the offensive end. He's 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan, has great all-around stats and badges, but his jump shot is super quick with the O'Shea base and the Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing. Is such a quick jump shot. And then he also does have great dribble sigs with the Kemba Walker size up and the Steph Curry escape. So I think for now, Gilbert Arenas probably going to be in that C tier category. Bam Adebayo, I think you got to go D. He's a solid power forward. I think he's a little bit worse than Anthony Davis. I think I might also move AD down to D tier. I just don't think AD is really that great of a card, and I think Bam Adebayo is kind of on the same tier. Like AD is still a good card. I'm just saying compared to the other top dark matters in the game. Nikola Jokic, I think he's easily got to go in the S tier category. Is he still the best point guard in the game? It really depends on your playstyle and your personal preference. I think for most people, he might still be the best point guard, even over dark matter Luka, just because he's 6'11" at the one, has a good jump shot, great player model, and he's going to be a lot easier of a card to use compared to a dark matter Luka. Desmond Bane, I think you probably got to go also D tier. Like, I think he's on the Anthony Edwards level. I think there will be a couple dark matters that I do think are worse than these guys in D tier, but I think for now they got to go in that D tier category. Bill Russell, I think, is our first definite A tier dark matter card. He's still super elite on the defensive end. He's going to be one of the best defenders in the game currently. Offensively does struggle a little bit at times, but he can still knock down threes, and I think he's like a perfect A tier card. He's a lot better than LaMelo Ball, I would say. I think he provides a lot more value on the court than a card like LaMelo, but I don't think he's on the Tim Thomas, the Nikola Jokic level at the dark matter tier. Now, going over Larry Bird, 1 billion% going in the F tier category. Probably the worst dark matter currently in the game. he's just so terrible. Like, they really need to update this card, but it looks like my team isn't going to give any of the trophy cases new evos, so I do think Larry Bird going to be in the F tier category. Kevin Garnett is super close to, I think he probably is S tier. If we're going with like the top 10 to 12 dark matters in the game, I think you got to put KG in S tier. He's still so dominant at that small forward position. I think he's just a better Bill Russell type of card. I think he's Bill Russell with better offense because of a better jump shot and also a little bit better dribble sigs as well. And then I think defensively are very similar cards at that small forward position. Devin Booker, I think, is most likely going to be either high A tier or low, or sorry, either high B tier or low A tier. I'm gonna go B tier for now after the Evo. Once again, him and the high res card, they're going to be on the exact same tier. I know this one does have an Evo, so there's a little bit of a difference compared to the cards, but I think both the high res and the playoff dark matter for Devin Booker are both going to most likely be in B tier. Maybe they do get moved up to A tier later in the video. Looking at the next dark matter is going to be Chris Bosh. I've always kind of said he's on the same tier as like an Anthony Davis. I think Bam Adebayo is also on that same tier. Like solid power forward cards. I just don't think they're really going to be anything too crazy. Dark matter Bull, I think might be the new best card in the game. He's just so overpowered and so glitchy at the small forward position. You take a look at his stats, right? Or you take a look at his card, right? 7'2" at the small forward position, 7'7" wingspan, super cheesy at small forward. And then he's got basically perfect stats. He's got 40 Hall of Fame badges, which is ridiculous. And he's also got a great jump shot that's pretty easy to time. And then he's got some of the best dribble sigs in the game with the Kyle Lowry size up and the tray escape. Now, is he worth his price tag being almost like 2 million MT? I don't think so, but I think he still probably is maybe the best dark matter in the game, maybe the best card in the game in general. So I think you got to go Bull, definitely in the S tier category. Dark matter LeBron, I think, is probably C tier. Still a better card than Anthony Davis and Chris Bosh in my eyes. I still think he plays good defense. He could drive to the basket. I just don't know if he's on that Devin Booker, LaMelo Ball level, you know, as a dark matter card. So I think LeBron probably going to be in at least C tier. Cade Cunningham also got to go in B. I think he's on the same tier as a Devin Booker. I think they're very similar at that point guard position. Clyde Drexler, I think you probably go C. He's just another decent dark matter card. He doesn't really do anything too crazy at the shooting guard position. He's 6'7", can drive to the basket, has an okay jump shot and some pretty solid dribble sigs. I just think there are going to be a ton better dark matter shooting guards and just dark matters in the game in general. Dark matter Dikembe, I think, is easily another A tier dark matter card. He plays elite defense. He's a great shot blocker and he does have a good jump shot. I'm just not sure if he's a top 10 dark matter card in the game currently. So I think Dikembe Mutombo going to stay in A tier, at least for now. Same thing with Dave Cowens. He's just going to be a little bit better than Bill Russell, and that really just comes down to preference of whose jump shot you prefer, because they're both going to be excellent defenders. I just think Dave Cowens has a little bit more offense to show than a card like Bill Russell, but I think for now are both going to be in the A tier category. Dark matter D-Rob, I think you probably also got to give A tier. He's still got great size at the power forward position. He's 7'1", 7'5" wingspan, great player model, can knock down threes, and still is an elite level defender. Yes, he's maybe not the best power forward in the game anymore like he once was, and he's not really that amazing at center, but I do still think he's most likely got to be an A tier. Luka Doncic, for me personally, is going in S tier. I do think for my playstyle and the way that I like to play the game and the way that I know I can play the game, I do think he's going to be the best point guard for me personally. For a lot of people, it might be hard to use this card because you got to really know how to take advantage of the tray fade. You got to really know how to take advantage of his dribble sigs, his super quick jump shot, and you got to know how to 3-hunt in the game. So if you guys are more of like just a casual player, or maybe you don't know all the best sigs, you don't know all the best jump shots, and you don't really know how to move at a high level and shoot the tray fade, like angle fade, all the type of stuff is very complex. So I think for most people, Jokic is probably the best point guard because he's just easier to use. He's 6'11", plays great defense. He's just more easier to use to score the ball with, play defense, and just overall be super effective. Where Luka Doncic, you got to really know what you're doing, and he can. And I would say he takes like a skill gap or takes like a skill level to use this card at his highest level. And I'm not trying to say, you know, someone's bad at the game, or it's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not that great at the game either. I'm just saying, like, for some people this could be easily the best point guard in the game, and for other people it probably is Jokic, just because he is easier to use. But for both these cards, I think they're both going to be in the S tier category. Dwight Howard, I think, is also another A tier dark matter card. I think he's on that same level as a D-Rob, as a Dikembe Mutombo. Still a really good defensive power forward who can knock down threes pretty consistently. Dr. J, I think he's just got to go in D tier. I don't think he's as bad as Larry Bird. It's just his jump shot is only on normal timing. He's still got great stats and badges because he is a dark matter, but I think Dr. J going to be in D tier. George Gerving, I think, also going to be in D. As crazy as that sounds, I just don't think George Gerving really is that great of a card. Like, if you look at his stats, he doesn't really, you know, go crazy for a dark matter. Like, yeah, he's got good all-around stats. His jump shot's like okay. He doesn't even have a good size up. Like, I would take maybe even Clyde Drexler over George Gerving at the shooting guard position. I just really don't think he's going to be that great of a dark matter card. Alonzo Mourning, he is easy A tier. I'm not kidding. He's probably the second best power forward in the game. And I think he might honestly be an S tier. I'm going to go A tier for now, super high A tier. Like, I think he's the best card in A tier right now. I like him more than Dikembe at the power forward position. I like him more than D-Rob and Dwight at power forward as well, because this card's super souped up. He's got the John Wall base, the Rudy Gay upper for his jump shot on very quick timing. He's also got the Kyle Lowry size up, I believe, right? I think it's a Kyle Lowry size up and the Trey escape. Let me just quickly confirm that. It is, it's the Donovan Mitchell size up. So that's actually a little bit worse, in my opinion, than the Lowry size up, but very similar. And yeah, he does also have that Trey escape. So all around great card in Alonzo Mourning, and I think he's going to be at least in that A tier category. Giannis, I think, is always in the same tier as LeBron. That's just the way that I've always viewed it. I think they're both amazing cards, for their, position. Still can play great defense, drive to the hole, and all around be super glitchy in game. Draymond Green, I think you got to go in D tier. It's just going to be probably the tier for a lot of these mid cards like Tyler Hero, like Draymond. They're just like okay dark matter cards. They're not going to really do anything too crazy on the court. Whereas I feel like Grant Hill, he might be a step above, because I think Grant Hill still plays good defense. I think at the small forward position, very comparable to a card like LeBron. Yes, he doesn't have great dribble sigs, but he's still going to be a good defender and can knock down threes. And I would probably take him, maybe over Clyde Drexler as a card at the small forward position. Isaiah Thomas for sure is going to go in F tier alongside Jamal Murray. The card's jump shot's just way too slow, that I feel like a Tyler Hero is way better at point guard, and all those cards in D tier I think are slightly better. His jump shot's just way too slow. And then also Jimmer Fredette is going to have to go in the F tier category. A really fun card to use, and a card that you can use on the offensive end and still have a lot of success with. It's just he's 6'2" at the point guard position. He's just going to get mashed every single play. Yes, he's got a great jump shot, amazing dribble sigs, and he's a super fun, 300 point guard to use. I just don't think you can really throw him higher than F tier. Jimmy Butler, after the Evo on his playoff version, I think is probably going to be in B tier. At the shooting guard position, is he deserving of A tier? Possibly. I think he definitely could be an A, but I think for now, he's most likely going to be in the B tier category. It is really nice on his playoff card that he does have those extra Hall of Fame shooting badges. That is definitely going to help Jimmy Butler on the offensive end. Joel Embiid, I think, is slightly worse, not by a crazy margin, but I think he's slightly worse than a Dwight Howard. You know what? I think they got to be on the same tier. I think he's a little bit worse than Dwight, D-Rob, Dikembe, and Alonzo Mourning, but I think he's most likely still got to be in the A tier category. Kawhi Leonard, I think Kawhi Leonard and KD, I think, are in this C tier category, right between like B tier, which are really good cards for their position, like debatably top 10, and then kind of like D tier is like the mid dark matters that are still dark matters. They can still provide a value on the court, and they're still going to be very decent cards. And then C tier is kind of in that middle range where they can be super effective if you like KD's jump shot, if you like Kawhi's release, if you want a really good defense card, a really good defensive card in a Giannis, a LeBron, a Kawhi, they can still be super valuable in game. I just don't think they're going to be elite level dark matters like some of the guys in B and A tier category. Hakeem Olajuwon, if we're going to have Joel Embiid, we're going to have Dwight Howard and D-Rob. I think these four dark matters got to be on the same tier. They're all very similar at the power forward and the center position as well. All can play pretty good defense and all have very mid jump shots, but can still knock down threes at a decent level. Kobe Bryant, I think, is probably either high D tier or low C. I do like him a little bit more than Clyde Drexler, Anthony Edwards, Desmond Bane, George Gerving, Dr. J. So I think Kobe's probably going to be somewhere in C tier. Dark Matter Kristaps, I think easily is in the A tier category. I think he might be S. I'm going to go Kristaps in S, and also Alonzo Mourning in S tier for now, because I do think if we're having the top 10 to 12, maybe even 15 dark matters in S tier, I think you got to have Alonzo and Kristaps in the S tier category. I just think they're a step above all of these cards in A tier. Kareem, I think you got to go A. He's a little bit better than the B tier category. I think he's still super dominant on the defensive end. He can still block shots, contest shots. He's super athletic. He has a great player model. I just wish he had a better jump shot and can green more consistently, but still I think dark matter Kareem has got to be in the A tier category. Brook Lopez, is it crazy to say A tier as well? I think Brook Lopez is super elite at the dark matter tier, especially at the center position. If this card could play power forward, that would also be super overpowered, but just at center, he's a great 7'1" center, 7'5" wingspan. He's going to be an elite level defender, 97 block, 96 interior defense, 90 perimeter, 94 steal. He's got a great jump shot with the B elites at base. That really does change this jump shot around, because if it was the Brook Lopez base, this card really wouldn't be that elite at the center position, but the fact that now he's got an amazing jump jump shot. He can green threes consistently. I think he's most likely going to be in the A tier category. Mitchell Robinson, he's not that bad. I kind of want to go even maybe B tier. Like, I'm gonna go C tier for now, but he honestly might be B. I think Mitchell Robinson is a very underrated dark matter card currently in the game because he's gonna be an elite level defender. He's basically just Brook Lopez with a worse jump shot. So I'm gonna go Mitchell Robinson. Like, he's got great size at the center position. I think he's actually gonna be in B tier. I think he's just a little bit worse than Brook Lopez because Brook Lopez does have a way better jump shot. Hero MJ, I think, is easily A tier. Most likely going to be an S, but I'm going to just go A tier for now because there's so many other good dark matters in the game to go over. So Hero MJ going to be A tier for now. Still one of the better point guards in the game. Just think there's maybe a couple better point guards. The Elemental MJ, I think he's going in D tier. I just don't think he's as good as, you know, some of the point guards in B tier. Like, he's definitely not on the Cade or Devin Booker level. There's no real point guards in C tier, but I would take, or Gilbert Arenas, I would definitely take over MJ. So I think he's probably going to go in the D tier category. Malik Monk is F tier. He's 6'3" at the shooting guard spot. I don't care how good of a jump shot he has. I don't care how good of an offensive card he is. He's 6'3" at the shooting guard spot, and his jump shot's not even anything too crazy. He's only got the DeMar size up, so even if he had the best dribble sigs and the best jump shot in the game, he would still most likely be an F tier. Moses Malone, I think you got to go D tier. Very similar power forward card to a Chris Bosh and Anthony Davis. Just solid at the power forward tier. Nothing too special. Greg Oden, I think, is probably going to be in C tier. I still think he's got a great player model. He plays good defense. He can rebound the basketball. He's just going to be a very traditional center, being able to, you know, grab rebounds, play defense. I just don't think he's going to be anything too crazy on offense. Oscar Robertson, I just personally don't like this card that much. Like, I think he's very solid. Like, you can still use this card at the point guard position. He's still got a great jump shot. He's a very decent point guard in the game. I definitely don't think he's on the LaMelo Ball, Cade, or Devin Booker level. And I would take Gilbert Arenas over him at the point guard spot. Penny Hardaway, I think, is the perfect B tier card. He's definitely not good enough in my eyes to be an A tier with all of those top tier dark matters in the game, but I think he's probably going to be the perfect dark matter around the Devin Booker and Cade Cunningham level at the point guard spot. Paul George, also going to be in C tier. Very similar cards to Kevin Durant, Kobe, and Kawhi. Just need better jump shots, but can still, but I still think can serve a purpose on the defensive end. Ron Artest, easy A tier card. Once again, could possibly be in the S tier category. He's a great defender, one of the best on-ball defenders in the game, has an amazing jump shot, good dribble sigs, can still create his own shot at a very high level, but I think for now going to be an A tier. But I think if there was one card from A to go into S tier, it would most likely be Ron Artest. Looking at Derrick Rose, he's just undersized at the point guard position. Even though I think he's a fun card to use and you can definitely have a lot of success with him, I just don't think he's going to be that great. Russell Westbrook, am I crazy to say C tier for Russ? I know he's undersized, but he just has that like rim running ability where he is so quick and great at getting downhill, and he plays very solid defense in game, and I like his jump shot. I think the tray escape really helps the card, you know, on the offensive end. I know it might sound crazy, but I think Russ is better than Tyler Hero. I think he's better than Oscar. I think he's better than all the point guards in D tier, and I think it's crazy, but Russ is going to be in that low C tier category for me personally. Malik Sealy, I think is most likely going to be in B tier. I think he's just slightly better than the Paul Georges at the shooting guard position, the Kawhi Leonards, the Grant Hill. I think he's just a slightly upgraded version compared to those cards, and then kind of on the same level as like a Kevin Durant or Grant Hill at the small forward position, and also LeBron as well. Shaq, I think you got to go at least C tier. He's still super dominant, right? He can grab rebounds, he can run the floor, he's super quick. It's just wish he had a better jump shot, but I know he can still be super dominant, so I'm gonna go Shaq in the C tier category. Steve Smith, I think, is the perfect A tier, maybe even S tier card. Still 6'8" at the shooting guard position, and very similar to these two cards as well, Terry Dishinger and T-Mac. But I think Terry and T-Mac, I do think they most likely got to go in the S tier category. I think they are slightly better than Steve Smith. I also like the cards over Ron Artest, over MJ. You could still make a debate that T-Mac is the best card in the game, and I think they definitely deserve to be an S tier. And then we got, you know, Tim Duncan, F tier. Trae Young, F tier. D Wade, D tier, very similar to a card like Oscar and Michael Jordan. Will Chamberlain, I would say B tier. I know a lot of people might have Wilt in A. I'm just really not the biggest fan of this card. I think he's like very comparable to a card like a Mitchell Robinson at the center position, and I would take all these power forwards over Wilt at the power forward spot, and then I would take like Dikembe, you know, Kareem, Brook Lopez over Wilt at the center position. And then the last card is going to be Lonzo Ball, who I think I'll throw in the C tier category. I think he's just slightly worse than the point guards in B tier, but I think he's also better than all the point guards and D tier. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my, or that's going to be be me ranking every single dark matter in the game on a tier list, ranking from S all the way down to F. How many cards do we have in S tier? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can only move one card up, and this is a really tough decision. I think it's really between Ron Artest and Steve Smith, and I think Steve Smith is still slightly better, but that's a really close debate. I think Ron Artest is easily the first guy left off of the S tier category, but I'm just going to quickly scroll through the tiers. You guys can pause the video and see where I ranked a certain dark matter card, but that's going to be me ranking every single dark matter in the game. If I did miss 1 or 2 cards, because I'm sure that can happen, just let me know in the comment section down below where you guys want me to see, or let me know the player's name, and I'll let you guys know where I'd rank the card, but I'm pretty sure, like 99.9% sure, I ranked every single dark matter here on the tier list, but hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.